the brand new Kotlin tutorial, and today I will be explaining you about some advanced topic. And yeah, today I will be as I was going through the series of lecture for Kotlin, all the Kotlin essentials that you need to know. And if you haven't seen my previous lectures, you can see to understand some basic fundamental principles, whereas I explained so many interesting concepts about Kotlin. And today my focus of the course will be towards advanced topics. Okay, so Kotlin advanced topics. So let's try to explore it. Okay, so one of my first advanced topic will be peer. Okay, so what is a peers? How do we create peers? And like we will be explain, I will go through the programming concepts here, through the peer. Like I will create it, I will try to, like we will do it manually, I will try to create a program here, and I will try to explain you through programs, and give you some interesting concepts. So the first thing what it says is Kotlin that is a peer. What is a peer? Peer is a Kotlin data type that allows you to define generic peers to values. So how do we define peers? So okay, let's create a simple example like val peer. Okay, and then let's create a peer. So how do we create a peer? Peer is like the first is okay, you can create peer in this way, like maybe you can create 1 to 1 like this, also maybe a string or with string to string to 1, right? This is a simple example of creating a peer. So actually we can also make a chain of like, okay, let me give you, like, let's print. How do we peer? Okay, we can do it, we can print by first or whatever you like, second, so it's like simple implementation. Like peer is like a pair of two words, if you see, the first is 1, like the second is 1, as you can see the output here is 1, right? And yeah, similarly if you put first, you're gonna print the first element like this 1. Okay, let's also do that. As you can see, it's printing 1, right? And yeah, this is a simple example of peers. Actually we can also, we can deconstruct we can make a chain of peers. So how do we create a chain of peers? You can do a chain of peers. Okay, like 1 to like let's do it in this way, maybe A to B to C, and we can keep on continuing doing these things. You can keep on continuing making a chain. So how do we, so let's print this chain. Okay, and let's see what it's doing. Obviously if you see in the chain, it's okay, let me print in a new line so that we will understand much better. If you see, it's creating a pair that is A to B and creating another pair that is AB to C, right? If you see here, it's creating a pair AB, then like is chaining to another pair which is AB, is chaining to another pair that is C. So it's like a pairing, like you are having two items at the same time, like that is a pair of objects, you can say. I'm like pair of items, like, so it has a lot of use cases that we will also discuss. Usually it is you can also, as you can see here, also you can deconstruct the pair, taking apart object and assigning it to the multiple variables. So how can we deconstruct it? Okay, we can deconstruct it also in this way, like, okay, let's see the deconstruction, like okay, let me create a example like val equipment is a pair, which is I'm having a equipment that is a knife to cut, right? And actually I can this is a pair. Okay, and now I want to deconstruct the pair. So how do we deconstruct the pair? construct, I can deconstruct, okay, like you can actually deconstruct in this way. So actually I have a knife that is a equipment which is like a tool, and like what is the use case of that tool, right? So I can deconstruct it in this way. Okay, so now I will print and I will show you how I am deconstructing this thing. So if I will print the tool, it's gonna print knife, obviously, right? So let's see that. So this way you can deconstruct it in this way, right? Like I'm creating a pair and I'm deconstructing it to different values. Like I can assign it to different values. Like you see, I'm assigning this particular value to this tool and assigning this use case to this one. So I'm kind of deconstructing this thing. Okay, so yeah, that's it, guys. And then okay, what is the main purpose of this pair? The main purpose of this pair is usually you can use to return more than one values for the function. So for example, if we create a function, we can create a function, another function which returns more than one value. Okay, usually a function name, and we return, like, this is the input, right? A input which is like, let's see, a string, and we can return like one values like boolean, right, which is true or false. Maybe let's suppose return true, right? As you can see. But here with the pair, it makes us things interesting because we can return two values, right? So let's try to return a pair, right? So how do we return a pair, right? We return the pair by writing this one, and like I want a string and string, so I have to return a pair. So if you see, it's giving me error because I have to return a pair. So I will simply return a pair by saying true okay to this one, right? If you see, it's a pair. True to 1, false to 0. Like you can return a pair. Like I'm returning actually two values, that is this one and this one. So right now you can deconstruct this one. Instead of equipment, you can pass a function name, and you can pass input, like you can say input is one, that is a string. So okay, 1, right? So this is easy peasy, right, guys? So you can deconstruct in this way. Right now if you print tool, it will be printing true for sure. Okay, let's do that. As you can see, it's printing true because it's assigning to this value, right? It's deconstructing to this value. So yeah, this has a lot of use case. If you do advanced programming in the future, you can use pairs to create some advanced feature, return two values. At the moment, this is one of the use case about pair. So now actually, yeah, okay, I wanted to also talk about actually mapping, because actually map, and we can get confused about what is mapping and pair. Okay, before going to collection, let me explain you. And we can also create mapping. Okay, so what is mapping? Okay, let's see. Mapping, okay, let's create a map. Map, okay, a map of, okay, I can also create a map of one. Okay, I can create a map of 1 to 1. Okay, 2 to 2, and so on. You can create more, how many maps you want. And actually, as you can see, map is also a collection of pairs actually. Okay, map is a collection of pairs. So actually map is a collection of pairs, and actually map works in a different way. Like that's why I will show you the difference. Like for example, map, you can print a map. Let's print a map which is actually a string map. Okay, and I want to print this map, which is like map map dot I want to, yeah, you see map works in a different way. Like I want to, you can print the size of the map, like what is the size of this map, what are the entries of this map, like so like maps are different things. Okay, so you can also add something to the, it's kind of like a collection. Okay, so um, let's print the size of this map. Okay, obviously it's gonna show two. Okay, and yeah, it's obviously gonna show two. Map is 2, you see. And like yeah, with the map you can do a lot of things like map. Let's okay, for the moment it's a immutable map, so we cannot make a like we cannot do mutate the map. I mean, you cannot add, put new peers in the map. But the simple difference that you guys have to understand is there is a difference between peer and a map. Okay, so peers are, there are a peer of two items, whereas map is a collection of peers. Okay, so this is the basic concept. Now I will try to explain you about the collections. So what are collections? Collections, okay. Actually, collections are really useful if you want to do a lot of things with your list or arrays. Let me create a list, which is a list of some values. Okay, 7, 8, 9. So I want to reverse this. Sorry, I want to reverse this list. How can I do that? You can do this by using simply by using collection. Okay, so that's the best important thing of okay, sorry, yeah, list. Okay, as you can see, okay, so I want to reverse this list, and I can easily do that using collection. That is this collection of values. If you check out, reverse is a collection. It's returning a list with elements of reverse order. And this concept is actually called reverse, using already built-in method provided by Kotlin. So let's run that also. If you see, reverse list is 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's reversing the list. So you can do a lot of things with the collection, like with the collection mechanism. Like for example, you can add, you can remove, you can also check if it contains some items. You can sublist some by. So let's try to add something to the list. Okay, so let's try to add a list. Okay, so okay, for the moment we cannot add anything because it's a immutable list. So if we create a mutable list, a list of 2, 3, 5, 7, 6. Okay, now with the mutable list I can add in the index like I can add also element 9. Now if you print out, okay, if you print out, okay, before and mutable list, okay, and after println after, and also mutable list, we can see the difference. Okay, let's run that. If you see, before we had just 2, 3, 5, 6, and after we have 2, 3, 5, 6, 9 that you added okay. And similar, you can remove that element. Like I want to remove, maybe I want to remove 3, sorry, 3. So we can also check that. If you see, there is no more 3 here, right? Before and after. Before there was 3, right now after there is no 3. So you can also similarly do a lot of things, like um, let's do sub list. Okay, from index, let's do the sub list. I want to have a list from 5 and 6 only. Okay, so 2, let's start from index 2, and let's give the 2 index is the size of the table list to size. So if you see, I want to start a sub list of 5 and 6 only. So okay, let's print that also. If you okay, actually the problem is I'm printing the same this list. Okay, I have to print after doing the sub list. Okay, okay, let's do right to the new list. Okay, and I have to print this new list. Okay, now it will work. If you see, I have to sub list of 5 and 6 only, right? So yeah, some by also, you can also add some by, you know, like while some by okay, but for that some by, let me create a list. Okay, alpha. Now word list, let me create a word list, mutable list of words, list of words, which is okay. Let me create also another one. Let me create this one also. Okay, now I want to create like with the collection I can do also some interesting stuff, like I can get the sum by of sum by cars. Okay, so the sum by cars, I sum by the length. So length. Okay, so it will actually add all these characters 1 2 3 4 5 like everything, you know, and it will print the final value. So let's check that also. As you can see, the total character is 19. You know, it's easy, you know, using collection we can easily summarize and do interesting things, like interesting programming things in a very easy way. So that's collection. Okay, so doing all these things is collection, like with the list or arrays or maps, you know. And yeah, I think the concept is clear about pair, collection, and mapping. So I would love to talk about constants. So what are constants? Okay, actually there are different types of constants, like top level constant. So what are top level constants? The constants which is declared here, right? Constant. Okay, constant. Okay, and yeah, you can also paste the value here. So that's it, this is a top level constant. Okay, if you are checking this, let me yeah. And there is also, it is says that there is object level constant. There object level constants are the constants which is declared in object. Like let's create an object 1, okay, which is like is a singleton. So we create a constant in this object. Okay, in this singleton object. So is a object constant. Okay, So, and this is the value actually. It's, let's see the name and the value same. So this is the second kind of constant, that is the object level constant. There is also another constant which is called a constant inside a class, which is a which we create in this manner. In the companion object, we create a constant here. Const val is a inner constant. Let's suppose it's a different inner constant, okay, and having a value same, that is a inner constant. Okay, so guys, as you can see, I have three different ways of declaring constant. One is outside, a constant which is outside, that is a outer constant. One which is a constant which is inside the object, like inside the class, okay, inside companion object, which is an inner constant. And one is a constant which is declared in a singleton object, which is a object constant. Okay, so there are three different kind of constant, most basically. So that you have to understand. And now I would like to give you some overview about what is this companion object. I think you guys might be interested, like having a question like, what is this companion object and what is this object? As I told also in my previous lecture, object is a kind of a singleton. This object, so singleton means something that Kotlin will be assigning creating only one instance for this object class, okay, this singleton object class. So if you create one object, that is only one object is created, and which is assigned, the same object is being assigned everywhere. So it's lazily defined, that means, so it's initialized lazily on the first access of that object and never initialized. So this just initialized once. Whereas the companion object, what is this companion object which is inside a class? As you can see, they are initialized from the static constructor of the containing class. That means it is initialized from this class only. So this companion object is initialized if whenever this Kotlin advanced class is initialized, this is also automatically initialized by this containing class, okay. So actually just the simple idea is, whenever this object is instantiated, this companion object is also automatically instantiated. So this is the concept, and that's why this is a inner constant which is inside a class, right? And yeah guys, so I guess I have explained you about these simple concepts and of some advanced Kotlin topic. Hope this will be helpful for you in your programming life, okay. And I will be coming up with a more advanced topic, and follow me. If you have not yet subscribed, just help me by subscribing, and just comment if you have any questions, and yeah, follow me, and just peace, chill out guys. Thank you.